Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be watching our Power of Business Friday 15 live chat. I am so excited today to introduce to you an entrepreneur from Ogallala, Nebraska that I just had the opportunity to meet this spring at our Grow Nebraska Market Tech. It's our locally produced products here in Nebraska. Janelle Anderson does a great job with that whole Market Tech conference. But John and I just met at that. John Marquise is the entrepreneur and owner of Ogallala Bay Rum, and I just became fascinated with John's story about how he developed and created his lotion and why he did all that. And so, John, would you just begin your story of how you got started and why you created the product that you did?
Sure. Thanks for the invite to be here today. Actually, just started out of trying to find some bay rum that I liked. I've always liked the fragrance of bay rum. Some people don't know what it is. You don't drink this stuff. It tastes awful. I've accidentally done that by siphoning a tank. But it's an old-fashioned aftershave fragrance. And I have tried many over the years, over the last several years, and they just didn't seem to have the scent that I remembered as a kid. And I always liked it a lot, and I got one for Christmas 8 years ago, I believe it was now, that was supposed to be one of the better ones, and I opened it up and took a whiff and thought, gee, I think I could make better bay rum than that. Just kind of a silly thought, and I started tinkering around with it in my basement, and about 130 versions later, I came up with one that I liked. I didn't know if anybody else would. That was kind of the furthest thing from my mind. And I started selling it on eBay just to see what would happen, and I started getting a lot of repeat business, and I thought, I may be onto something here. And so eventually we launched our own website. We still sell a little on eBay as well, just some of our products. Launched our own website, expanded the product line from just the regular bay rum to variations thereof, like bay rum and sandalwood, bay rum limes and peppercorns, bay rum sage and cedar, added a cologne to the aftershave. And then we expanded into shaving soap and bath soap and air fresheners, and one thing led to another. So when I started this, I thought it would just be a little part-time income to add to my retirement someday, and it actually became the full-time job 4 or 5 years ago now.
Very good. So primarily then, John, you started marketing then through your eBay connection and your website, and that's truly how your online sales. I mean, you don't have a storefront; everything is online, correct?
Pretty much. There are a couple of stores here in Ogallala that do carry our products, 3 actually, but I don't have a storefront. I just don't want to do retail hours because I may be at the shop at midnight and I may not get there till 11 in the morning too. So they're better equipped to handle the retail side of things as far as the storefront goes, but I do sell retail online through our website, still on eBay as well, and then we have a number of other vendors who buy from us and sell online, and then we're also in a few catalogs.
Okay, okay, and you also have a connection with Grow Nebraska and their e-commerce site as well.
Right, and also the Grow Nebraska stores have a retail, and they sell in there as well.
Okay, so part of your storyline is going wholesale with this, with your product, versus really focusing in on that retail market. Can you tell your story about how you got into that bigger box catalog company of Duluth Trading Company?
Well, actually, they called me, and I almost thought it was a hoax at first because I thought, why would they be calling me? And actually, I wasn't familiar with them at the time. And the buyer called me and said that they were looking for another bay rum because they were having trouble getting the bay rum they had carried in on time for their catalog. And once I realized it was the real deal, I said, well, I'm in Nebraska, you're in Minnesota, or actually they're in Wisconsin now, and I said, I'll drive it in a U-Haul truck myself if I have to get it there on time. So it's never been an issue. But so no, they actually contacted me, and that was the first really big customer we had, and that's when we started shipping by the pallet, and obviously had to move the operation out of the basement. So we've been in 3 different locations now, 2 different locations actually besides the basement, and we're getting ready to move to a larger one because we just need the room. And still, it's a fairly small operation. It's myself, my wife, and we have 3 part-timers.
As what my next question was going to be, how many employees did you have? As you think about your story, John, are there any tips or bits of information that you would like to share with some of the other entrepreneurs about things that lessons learned that you would like to provide them?
Customer service is just critical, and we have a good reputation for that, thankfully. But you just need to treat people like gold, because they are. And if somebody likes what you're doing, not only just your product, obviously they've got to like the product or they're not going to come back, but if they like the product and they like the customer service, they're going to spread the word. If they don't, they're going to spread that word as well. And so you just have to be very careful about treating people not just the way they would like to be treated, but better than they would like to be treated. For instance, every order we ship out, even if it's the small sample bottle of something that somebody orders, we always give them something free. And I think that's been very critical to the growth of the business, is because people talk. And there are all these forums online now where they get on and discuss what they're using and what they like and what they don't like and how the customer service is. In my particular case, it's driven a lot by wet shaving forums, people who shave with a mug and brush. It's called wet shaving, and these guys get on there and talk about the different products they use, and that drives a lot of business my way. In fact, that's how we got into the shaving soap, because we didn't have shaving soap. And we kept being asked about shaving soap. I thought, well, I guess we better add that. And so we figured that out and added a line of shaving soap that's become very popular. But just treat people the way they want to be treated. And I know that sounds very simplistic, but honestly, you go into a brick and mortar store these days and you oftentimes don't get that good service that you would like. And so as strange as it seems, the internet to some people seems like a big impersonal place, but I have a lot more personal contact with my customers than most brick and mortar stores do.
Very good. One of our questions, John, is around your website. Did you create it yourself, or did you have somebody else create it?
Well, I had somebody else create it, and when I first got into this, she was also doing the adding the products and that sort of thing. Well, I would be working at 1 in the morning sometimes and think, gee, I'd really like to add this product, but she's not there, obviously. And so eventually what we went to is where she created the home page, and then from a link on the home page, it goes to our shopping cart, and I can very easily add items to the shopping cart anytime I want to. And I kind of recommend that, because I know of another business that kind of went the other route and had somebody else do all the adding for them, and they kind of ran into the same thing I did. And I kind of caution them not to do that, because if you're working late at night and you want to add something, you want to do it then, or you want to change a price on something. And so I really like a home page, and then you be able to control adding and deleting products, changing prices, whatever.
Just as another question around your inventory and how you manage that from a website perspective to the actual inventory. Do you have a back-end system that you use?
The inventory, as far as having product made on hand, I suppose is what you're asking.
Right.
I wish I had a good answer for that, because many times I make the product up as the order comes in. That's not by design, it's out of necessity. We're in a strange position of honestly being well, we're selling it faster than we can make it. I don't know how else to put it. So it makes for a lot of long days, and I'm not complaining, because it's a good problem to have, but it is a problem. And so once I get moved to the new location, we're going to probably hire at least one more person who can help out with not only product production, but shipping, and take some of those things that I do on a day-to-day basis away, so I can concentrate on other things to grow the business. Because right now it's just a matter of trying to keep up with the orders we have, not really working on growth, because there's just not time to do it.
Well, you're obviously expanding if you're moving into a new facility, John. So that is exciting.
Yes.
Any other plans for the future besides any product line that you're thinking about, or besides your new facility?
Yeah, we actually have a new fragrance that I've done some testing on as far as doing occasional sales on just to see how it flies. And that's been very popular. So hopefully next year I can get that added to the lineup. And I think it may be one of the best ones we have. So that in itself is kind of exciting to me. It's just a matter of again trying to find the time to get it all done. There's another rather large catalog picking us up this fall. Don't want to get into that too much, but that's going to be very exciting. I think that may keep us really busy as well. So it's just been, I wish I could say I had a master plan on how all this was done. Honestly, it's a matter of providing a product that is decent. We think ours is, and apparently a lot of other people do too, and then treating people really right. And I just can't express that enough. And that the day of social media, where everybody can share their ideas and their thoughts so quickly, again, can make or break you. And you just need to treat people exceptionally well. They're your customers, they're your bread and butter, and it just makes life fun when you get up in the morning and check your phone and see how many orders came in while you were sleeping. It's kind of cool. I wish I had done. The internet was around 30 years ago, so I could have started this a lot earlier. So.
Yes, exactly. Well, it sounds like you're taking true advantage of all of the applications online with website and social media, and really focusing in on what your customers are wanting and saying about you. I think that's one thing that our entrepreneurs out there really need to pay attention to is the reviews and the recommendations. And I mean, there's lots of ways to do that today in order to take advantage of what people are saying about your particular product or your business.
You mentioned reviews. That is something that in the last couple of years has really been driving the business, I've noticed. That more and more people will write reviews. They're used to doing it now. Mm-hmm. And so our shopping cart, after somebody places an order, we'll send out an invitation for them a week or so later to write a review of the product. And the more reviews there are on there, it just kind of grows and becomes a thing of its own. So the reviews are very helpful. And I'm fortunate to say I don't think I've had any negative reviews. And if I did, I'd probably just give somebody their money back and say, okay, well, thanks for trying it. But fortunately, they're all good reviews, so it works out good. But the reviews are very critical.
Well, and I think a couple of the keys is you have an awesome product. It's a very premier product, as well as the way that you treat people. I think that customer service really shows in the way that you talk about treating your customers. So I appreciate that.
Well. And the old thing about when you love what you're doing, it doesn't seem like work. Well, it doesn't. I mean, I'm just this is I don't have a chemistry background. I kind of fell into this by accident, just going after the fragrance that I liked. My background for 20 years or 40 years, lost track of time there, was in broadcasting. So this was something totally new to me, and if I can stumble my way through it. Selling online, anybody ought to be able to do it, because I'm certainly not a computer whiz by any stretch either. It's just a matter of finding a product, finding a niche, and mine is sort of a niche. It's not like there are a lot of bay rum companies out there. There are several though, and then filling that need and just enjoying what you're doing. And I think if you enjoy what you're doing, people know it, and if you're treating people right and having a good time and obviously you have to make money too, but that makes you even happier when that's rolling in. So.
Very true, very true. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed listening to John and his story about Ogallala Bay Rum. The website is ogallalabayrum.com, all one word. And so go check out the product line and again, listen to John's story or share his story as this Power of Business Friday 15 goes up on our YouTube channel. Thank you, John, for taking the time out of your busy day. I really appreciate you sharing the tips that you did with our entrepreneurs, because you've got a wealth of knowledge in being successful in the work that you do. So,
thank you. With you.
Yep, thank you, John. So with that, I want to invite you to our September Friday 15. It will be September 5th. At 11:15 Central Time for 15 minutes. We appreciate you taking the time, having a coffee break with us, and everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.